The motor snorted, the horn honked, and soon the red tail light was lost from view. Nick, completely dazed, picked up a stick, and, holding it as though it were a rifle, tramped around the brightly lit cottage. Yes, he muttered, pacing importantly up and down. A soldier's life is certainly tough. No peace, night or day. It was getting on for 3 in the morning. Colonel Alexandrov was sitting at a table on which was a pot of cold tea, some slices of salami sausage, cheese and bread. "I'll have to go in half an hour," he said to Olga. "Pity I didn't get a chance to see Jenny." "Olya, are you crying?" "I don't know why she hasn't come." "I'm so sorry for her, she wanted to see you so much." "Now she'll go right off her head." "And she's crazy enough as it is." Olga said her father, getting up. "Whatever you say, I can't believe that Jenny would mix with a bad crowd. Or that she could be led astray, or that anyone could order her about." "No. It isn't like her." "There you go," said Olga reproachfully. "You'll be telling her that next." "As it is, I hear enough about her taking after you." "But you're wrong this time." "Would you believe she climbed onto the roof and let a rope down through the chimney?" "Just as I was about to start ironing, the iron hopped out of my hand and went sailing up the chimney." "Dad, when you left she had 4 frocks. Two are already in tatters." "She grew out of the 3rd and I won't let her wear the 4th. I made her 3 new frocks myself, but they never last more than a few days." "She's always covered with scratches and blue marks." "And when you talk to her she purses her lips and opens her blue eyes wide." "Of course, everybody thinks she's a pretty little flower, hardly a girl at all." "But just try and touch her." "Some flower." "More like a stinging nettle." "Dad, don't you go thinking she takes after you." If you tell her that she'll be so full of herself she'll go dancing round the chimney pots for 3 days running. All right, agreed her father, giving her a hug. I'll talk to her. I'll write her a letter. But you mustn't be too strict with her, Olga. Tell her I love her dearly, that I think of her, that we'll soon be back and that she mustn't cry, because she's an officer's daughter. She'll cry all the same, said Olga, nestling close to him. I'm also an officer's daughter, and I'll cry too. Her father glanced at the clock, walked over to the mirror, put on his belt and straightened his tunic. Suddenly the outside door opened and shut with a bang. The hangings over the doorway were pulled aside and Jenny appeared, her shoulders hunched forward as though she were about to make a leap. But instead of crying out or springing forward, she glided noiselessly across the room and buried her face on her father's chest without uttering a sound. Her forehead was splattered with mud, her crumpled dress all stained. Jenny, what does it mean? Olga asked anxiously. How did you get here? Without turning her head, Jenny waved her hand as much as to say, wait a moment. Leave me alone. Don't ask questions. Jenny's father picked her up, sat down on the sofa and took her in his lap. He looked at her face and wiped her splattered forehead with his palm. Well done, Jenny. Good girl. But you're all covered with mud, your face is black. How did you get here? Olga asked again. Jenny pointed to the hangings at the door, and Olga saw Timur standing there. He was pulling off his leather driving gloves. His temple was smeared with yellow grease. His face was moist and tired, the face of a working man who has done his job well. He nodded his head in greeting. Dad, cried Jenny, jumping from her father's lap and running over to Timur. Don't you believe anyone? They don't know anything. This is Timur, my very good comrade. Her father rose and, without hesitation, shook Timur's hand. A triumphant smile flitted over Jenny's face. She flashed a quick, searching look at Olga, who, still quite baffled, went up to Timur. Well, hello, then. Soon the clock struck 3. Dad, Jenny said anxiously. Are you going already? Our clock is fast. No, Jenny, that's the correct time. Dad, your watch is fast too. She ran over to the telephone and dialed the time. A measured metallic voice answered, the time is now 4 minutes past 3. Jenny glanced at the clock on the wall and sighed. It's fast, but only 1 minute fast. Dad, take us to the station with you, we'll see you off. Sorry, Jenny, I can't. I'll be much too busy. Why? You've got your ticket already, haven't you? Yes. In a first-class sleeper. Yes, in a first-class sleeper. Oh, how I'd love to travel far, far away with you in a first-class sleeper.